Now we're going to work on that bent wrist strike. The bent wrist is simply pulling your hand and striking with this area here. It looks a little goofy, and you might wonder, why would you ever want to punch with your wrist and damage that when you could punch with your fist or strike with your palm, which is the best striking surface? The reason is, if for example my opponent had an object and he was to strike my fingers and I couldn't fold into a fist anymore, or maybe my knuckles are broken, I can still, when he breaks those, I can still use the wrist or the bent wrist to strike, and you can hit pretty hard with that. Now, you might remember in Karate Kid, if he was to thrust at me, things like this where you would block. Okay? You can do things like this, but they're not going to be that powerful. It's much better to use it more like you're throwing punches. If you're going to block, though, you can block with that bent wrist. It can strike, and it doesn't feel that good on your opponent. However, if you were to hit something like steel onto that bent wrist, it doesn't feel good. So it's very important that when you're practicing the bent wrist that you start off light before moving into stronger strikes. Also, you want to get something like a makiwara board or a piece of wood that you can strike at, like this. When starting off in training, always use your own hands. You know, just try this right now at home. Hit yourself here and you'll feel a sharp pain in the nerves right here with that bent wrist. So if you really want to be good at striking with a bent wrist, you're going to have to deaden some nerves. I don't suggest doing that much, just enough. If you have a jacket on, or if you have gauntlets, like that we sell on the martial arts supply, gauntlets, they also protect this area. So anything that you have over here, like gloves, would protect that area. If you had a watch, like a nice steel watch, boom, striking that up against the temporal, on the nose or into the eye, that would also be very dangerous. So the bent wrist, although simple, can turn into a very deadly strike. Throw a punch.